everybody, Z Garcia here, and today I'm going to be covering my top 10 personal cinematic game covers. These are game covers that really captivate me, that draw me in. And then again, that I find very cinematic. They tell a story. Sometimes that story is replicated in the game. Sometimes it forces you to, or requires you, or asks of you that you do some heavy mental lifting to really put yourself in that setting. But nothing can be taken away from these covers. They are excellent. They are moody. They are funny. They are vibrant. There's something about them that really sells a story, sells a cast of characters, what have you. So I'm going to be covering these. I have my computer right here in front of me. I'm going to be looking at the cover as I'm talking about it, but I'll throw it up on the screen for you, of course. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Of all of these games, I've played them all. I actually snuck one into the list that I haven't played yet, but I think the cover is gorgeous, and again, moody and just draws me in. I can stare at this cover for a long time. So we're starting with number 10, which I have played. I'll just tell you the one I haven't played when it comes up. That'll be easier. So number 10 is Bad Company. Bad Company here is sort of a heist movie in a board game. You are hiring a crazy cast of characters. You are sending them out on jobs, on heists. They're collecting goodies. You are completing missions. You are hiring new people, running away from the police. And this cover is just the two cars in the back leaping, money exploding, and then just a bizarre cast of characters of all walks of life. I think it's just a really fun cover. It's a cover where you can sort of detail every one of these people, and immediately some backstory suggests itself as to who they are, what do they bring to the team, what's happening in this story. And I really like that. I think this one that cover is climactic, right? It's the action poster for the movie, or sort of the climax of the story. Composition is great on this. Again, so many layers working together. I really, really enjoy it. Next up, Vengeance is my number 9. And Vengeance is very much about a revenge story. That is the theme in the game. It's a game in which you are at the beginning wronged by some gang or some characters, and then you go through a montage in the game where you beef up, you train, you get better, and then you break into their headquarters, their layers, their places where they congregate, and of course seek vengeance upon them. I really like the way that it juxtaposes the bad guys on the one side with you on the other side rushing them. The word vengeance, the print of the tire across the letters, and then the tag is fantastic. The sort of subtitle of the title here, Vengeance, the axe forgets, the tree remembers. That is very cool. This looks like a movie poster already. It's so stark. That fully white background with nothing there. That orange is a really good choice for that bottom color, I think. A red, which I could see them having gone for, I don't think works as well, or I don't think would have worked as well as this burnt orange color. It's just gritty. I really like, again, the characters, the look of the whole thing, the way the two characters closest to the center break over the letters. It's a striking cover. Again, very cinematic. You can almost start hearing the music playing in your head as you are staring at this cover. So I really, really like it. All right, next up we've got number 8, and this is the one I haven't played yet, though I still very much want to. This is Merchants of the Dark Road, and Merchants of the Dark Road here is just so moody. It's, again, looking at this cover makes me feel like the chill in the air, the faint tunes that bard-like character is playing there in the center. You have this perspective where you are removed from them. It would have been very easy to draw these characters congregating around the fireplace up close. But the fact that the camera, if you would, the point of view, is pulled so far back, you get to see their horse there with the carriage, the little place that they reside and travel in, and how oppressive the night and the cold are around them, with them surviving in this little ring of warmth and light. it's just so striking. And again, it's very cinematic. I like the form of that. I'm guessing it's a wolf or something. Staring at them as we are staring at them, seeing them there, kind of vulnerable, huddled together. The logo is gorgeous above that with the lamp in the center. And then way in the distance in the back, you can see a lit town back there. The mountain over them with the icicles. Very oppressive cover in a way. But then very bright and cheerful right in the center. Very hopeful. There's a lot going on. I could stare at this cover for a long time. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous composition and very cinematic. Next up, Last Aurora here is a post-apocalyptic game in which you are racing across this frozen tundra in order to make it to a ship that is leaving, the Aurora. It's departing with or without you. And you're trying to make it to that, fighting some gangs and marauders along the way, collecting new people, collecting weapons, upgrading your vehicles. This one is, of course, very much a Mad Maxian sort of action scene, as you see there, the center car, front and center there, almost coming off the ice. Fire, smoke, the speed is palpable in that scene. I like that in the back you can see one of the pursuers there has just swerved, so their vehicle is kind of sinking into the one side before it bounces back and recenters itself. You've got the truck next to that sort of looks like it has a ship on the front of it. Some tanks on the back of that. A blur effect on everything except the car that really gives you a sense of speed. I think it's just fantastic. And that image is shrunk in the center here with a lot of cool detail above and below that, with the bringing out that sort of mechanized look and feel to everything. I really, really like this one. Next up, I'm taking a look at Sleeping Gods here, and this cover just screams epic. I mean, there's a whole ship in the front there, but it's so tiny compared to those massive mountains, flying creatures in the back, that angry sky, and then, of course, the centerpiece, this massive monster rising from the depths, about to chomp this thing in half or slash it open. It's just tremendous scope in this one image, and again, at the center of it is you and your team, your group of people on this little ship trying to survive. I say little ship because the world you're in makes you feel so little. Yeah, I think this one's just stunning. It's fantastic use of colors, the depth there, and sort of things being out of focus is beautiful. The whole thing, again, you can kind of hear that music, the epic music. It's incredibly large, and the game definitely feels that way. Puts you in that world, makes you traverse things that are unexpected and unknown, and this cover manages to give you that feeling. All right, next up we've got Dead Men Tell No Tales here. Dead Men Tell No Tales at number 5 is an action shot frozen in time, right? It's this idea of you as pirates boarding and looting another ship. Unfortunately, what you don't know is this ship is actually cursed, and the people on it are undead characters, skeletons and that sort of thing. But this cover is just action-packed. You've got the characters attacking from the corner, the explosion, of course, being the centerpiece. You can see all the shrapnel and fragments flying off of it. The detail on the back of that ship, the skull, the anchor, the flames reflected on the water, and then way back there, another ship coming in this lightning storm. The whole thing makes me feel a little bit cold looking at it again with the rain and the ocean, the roar. You can hear the noises in this cover. It is so captivating. It is so incredibly well done and detailed. It's just spectacular. I would sit down to watch this short film or movie right now because it's so stylish, so captivating. So there you go, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Fantastic cinematic cover. Next up, we've got Abyss. Abyss is just one of the strangest covers out there that I can think of in recent memory, recent game releases, because there is nothing on the cover, the very front cover, at least of the original release of this game, is just this figure staring deep into your soul. And again, it's sort of monstrous, clearly intelligent. You can tell that it's underwater. There's sort of the floating particles in front of it. And I just don't know what to make of this character. Are they benevolent or evil? What are they trying to sell me? What's their plan? What's happening here? What's going on? And what do I get to do in this world? Who do I get to be? What do I get to experience? I think Abyss gets all of that across and draws me in, makes me want to explore a little bit more, engage in conversation with this thing and see if it has any ulterior motives. That's what Abyss does for me. I think all the covers for Abyss, the alternate covers, all kind of manage to do that. This one being the original iconic one is just captivating. All right, on to our top 3 here. At number 3, I've got Detective City of Angels. Detective City of Angels here is, of course, a crime story in which all the players are trying to solve a whodunit. And already, looking at this cover, I immediately want to jump in and start figuring that out. I really like that. I like the figure in the front there, who is, I assume, an avatar for us in this story. They have the band-aid there on the nose, the look, of course, of the time period. And then we've got, in the background there, a figure that looks to be dead, but it's not the person that belongs to that shoe. And I always found that kind of interesting. It just kind of paints out a whole bigger picture. It's a person there exploring. The one cop, the one gumshoe there is holding the gun. There's that red shoe there. The one cop in the back is just sort of scratching his head, trying to figure out what's going on. You are clearly behind the Hollywood sign there, overlooking the city in the distance. And it's just, I mean, it's straight out of a movie. It's a still image that is packed with intrigue, with suspense, with a mystery that's about to come to light. And the deeper you dig, the more that questions arise. This cover gives me all of that. I really find it fascinating. It's so engaging. The light, the usage of the light from that vehicle, the whole thing is very, very cool. And it's almost as though this character here in the foreground is looking back at us, daring us to solve this murder. So really fantastic. All right, my number 2 is Scythe, one that is very well known for being quite cinematic. It's a gorgeous cover with a lot going on in it. You've got, of course, all the farmers in the front here, then some mounted units, and then, of course, mechs, fantastic mechs in the background firing, smoke coming out of them. You can kind of get a feel for the time and place of this world with, of course, the mechanical and sci-fi trappings laid on top of that. The trees, the land being a little bit barren, war-scarred countryside. It's a gorgeous one. It's one that, again, is very well known, has, I'm sure, been discussed ad nauseum, but I still think it is incredibly stylized and just draws me in. I want to find all the little details. Oh, look at that mech as a slightly different design than this one. I wonder which model is older. I wonder what nation built that one versus that one. Is that one faster and more limber? That one looks like a heavy hitter. Those mounted units over there past that first mech seem to be running into a confrontation. Their flags are different from the red flags in the back. Just so much happening. And then these folks in the front, just, is this their day-to-day life? What's it like to live in this world? Very interesting stuff. And then lastly, folks, my number 1 is King of Tokyo Dark Edition. I mean, come on. This is a stunning cover. Again, nothing on it, just this image. The monster in the center, those 2 buildings completely torn apart. One of them has a ship sticking out of it. They're torn through. They are just wrecked. And then that glow emanating from this monstrosity, this beast, staring right at you, coming between these buildings, whether they come down or not. I mean, it's a powerful image again. It's sort of movie poster worthy, and I really find it just so cool. This one is pure cool. So there you go. Those are my top 10 cinematic covers, folks. Let me know what you think. You know, do you agree with me on these picks? Do you disagree? Which ones are some of your more cinematic covers that really draw you in, make you start telling that story to yourself? So that's it. I look forward to your comments below. Thank you very much. My name is Z Garcia. I want to see you on the next one.